Hey Bulldogs, Mr. Mack here. Thinking today about how it is that you can get as connected as possible to our school community and stay engaged in everything that's happening, not just learning in the classroom, but all the positive opportunities to be a part of our school and to feel like this is a place that feels like home to you. I think one of the obvious things, especially if you're incoming ninth grader, but regardless, whatever grade that you're in, is thinking about ways that you can connect through extracurriculars. Obviously, we have a lot of school pride in our athletic teams, and one of the great things about athletics is that it creates a smaller hub of community than our large school, so that you can feel like a member or a part of a family in some way, shape, or form. And I think our coaches, our captains, and our teammates work really hard to do that. That is no different than when you're participating in an extracurricular like FFA or FBLA or the Equity Club or the Key Club, which is our service community service branch. These are places where you can find common interests with other students, and those common interests not only with your peers but with adults who are advisors to those translate into you feeling more connected to school. So obviously there's a large school community. There's a total of a little over 500 people who get together every single day, adults and students alike, to try to think about ways to move all of you as students educationally and to help you become positive citizens in the Kashmir community and to create opportunities and choices for you when you graduate. I think a lot of it starts with taking what can sometimes be an uncomfortable step towards making connections. And I think that starts in the classroom, hopefully, and I know this about our teachers. They work really hard to try to put you in situations where you can get to know other students, find common ground, find shared interests, and in doing so, that supports you feeling positive about walking into classrooms. We want you feeling that way walking into our school building every single day, that this is a place that you look forward to being, that this is a place that you feel is safe, where you're respected for who you are, and where you have the opportunity to grow. I think all of those things are critical. And so, for example, with our incoming ninth graders, our peer mentors, there's about 40 of them. Those are upperclassmen who are committed to trying to make sure that our newest Bulldogs feel an important part of our school community. That's something that we're looking for each and every one of you to be. You don't have to be a leader by name to be a leader in action. And when you're in the classroom making those critical decisions about whether you're going to support the learning environment positively or distract from the learning environment, those are life lessons that we're here to help you learn. But again, what can you do when you walk into a classroom to feel positively connected to that classroom and to do so stay engaged in learning? You can pair yourself up. You can create accountabilities with classmates that say that we're going to compete or we're going to work collaboratively to make sure that we get all of our work done. We're going to ask questions. We're going to be not just physically present, but mentally present for as long as we can be. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't have the greatest attention span. I know as a high school student myself, I probably had ADHD, probably still have it now. And it's only through a lot of practice and training that I can manage my attention so that I can give it fully for limited periods of time. And by that I mean no more than probably 45 minutes max. And a lot of our classes run much longer than that. So one of the strategies that I encourage you to do is to measure your attention, to challenge yourself to be as engaged for as long as possible. And if you have to disconnect, try to do it in a way that's respectful of others, respectful of your teachers, or your peers, whether you're working in an extracurricular, a club, or an organization, or if you're practicing, and find ways to disconnect for short periods of time that allow you to refresh. What does that look like in the classroom? Maybe it's like that you're going to take a couple minutes and you're going to doodle, or you're going to take a couple minutes and you're just going to close your eyes and just kind of reflect a little bit, or you're going to stand up and take a movement break, which can oftentimes be refreshing, or honestly that you are going to take a couple minutes and socialize with your peers. Try to figure out ways that you can do that in the context of learning. There's ways to have it all. You can socialize and learn at the same time. And do so in a way that allows you to come back feeling a little bit more refreshed. In my own experience, every single day here at Kashmir, I'll try to work intensively on projects related to my job responsibilities, and then I'll give myself 15 minutes to walk around the school, to connect with teachers and students as much as possible, to check on the safety of our perimeter, and sometimes just to do a lap, walk around outside, breathe a little fresh air, maybe stretch a little bit, and then come back to continue tackling the tasks that I have at hand in terms of my role as principal. Those are things that you have to kind of work out for yourself as well. What's my attention span right now? How can I grow that attention span gradually through practice and training? And a lot of it involves just setting goals for yourself, seeing if you can make it through a whole class, being as mentally present as you possibly can be, and what that feels like and what the outcomes were. Again, so much of what we do and your ability to be successful here in school is about relationship building. And if you've got multiple relationships in a classroom, positive relationships, including that with your teacher, those are things that allow you to go, maybe even take breaks, talk about things outside the context of school so that you can go back and refocus your attention. And let's be really honest too, in our relationships, in our school community, we don't always all get along, and sometimes we disconnect. And the disconnection between teachers and students is also often a very difficult thing, because you need each other. Teachers need students to be engaged to move the group forward academically, and as students, you need the teacher to support your learning so that you can be successful. And if that relationship is dysregulated or broken for whatever, mending that, attacking that weird space, and moving forward positively is a skill that we want you guys to learn. And it takes courage in some cases, and it takes, on the part of both people, the willingness to take a step forward, let the past go, and move forward positively. So again, I can't encourage you enough to think about ways that you can meaningfully connect to our school. You can create your own clubs as well. And I say this, we had a student this year who was interested in starting a newspaper. That opportunity is there. Get people together. I'm more than willing to offer independent study credits if you're wanting to do some sort of an exploration and get some other friends involved who have shared interests towards creating an organization or a club here at school that builds relationships but supports connectedness and engagement. So just a few thoughts on how to stay connected and engaged in learning. A little bit haphazard, no question, but obviously we want the best for you here at Kashmir. And if you are feeling disconnected, just know that between our school counselors, myself, Mr. Brown, any of your teachers, and your peers as well, you've got a support system to help you reconnect. And that's going to happen to all of us. We don't sustain positive relationships indefinitely. There's always going to be hiccups, roadblocks, barriers, obstacles, things that distract us away from our responsibilities here at school. But what's important is to know that when you are feeling that way, that you've got somebody that you can reach out to help you re-engage and feel connected. And starting the school year with the goal of building as many positive relationships as possible and making sure that you work to sustain those in every interaction that you have with those people is going to be critical to your success at school. So wishing you the best. Talk to you soon.